nowhere near where I wanted to be financially. And y'all, I got the opportunity, y'all, to change my life for the rest of my life. Who would I be if I didn't decide to take somebody up on their offer to help me do things for families? Y'all, make a change in families' lives, which ultimately made a change in my family's life, right? My family, I have two amazing kids. Y'all have a 13-year-old daughter, a 23-year-old son who is licensed, brand new to this company, y'all. So super excited about my son coming here. He's going to do some big things here as well. And y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all, with being in this industry for 9 years, almost 10 years, my highest income was over $230,000, y'all. And look, with that, over the 9 years, I made over 1.2 million within that 9 years with the company. But y'all, it's time, right? It's time for me to make that change and to get to the point where I'm making that as an annual income. So mark my words, write it down, take a picture, okay? Because y'all will know Shay Bond, okay, as a multi-million-dollar earner within this company, within this industry, who produces million-dollar earners, okay, y'all? So here's the thing. If y'all gonna be a million-dollar earner, y'all just drop million in the chat. And so, guys, I made Vantage my home because I believe in the vision, the leadership. Y'all got some amazing leaders, okay? Some amazing leaders, right? Having the opportunity to meet the CEOs, y'all, that really changed my life. I was like, oh yeah, this is home. This is home, y'all, and because it also aligns with my personal vision, y'all, my personal mission. And so, y'all, I'm about to introduce y'all to some amazing, amazing, amazing men, y'all. Y'all ready? Drop ready in the chat if you ready to hear from our first speaker, y'all. I need some more people to drop ready. I need y'all to wake up. I need y'all to come to camera, okay? Because I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I'm not about to be talking to no name plates and no pictures, okay? This is not. I'm not talking to a yearbook, okay? This is not a monologue. This is a dialogue, okay? We gonna talk this morning, okay? And so, y'all,
Woo!
our first speaker, y'all, this
Bring
amazing
it
man, y'all.
on, bring it on.
Come on, this amazing man, y'all, has been in the industry for over 12 years. Okay. Now I know y'all have been on training. Y'all have heard some amazing things that he's said. So y'all got to get ready for this training. I don't get y'all pen and paper. I'm giving y'all the time. I'm giving y'all 1 minute. Okay. Y'all, he's the co-founder, co-owner of Vantage. Okay. And he texts my phone. he called my phone. Okay. Y'all, husband, amazing husband, and father of two precious little girls, a man of faith, y'all. Okay. Y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all, he's about to be a man that's about to get y'all fit in business today. So I want y'all to give it up for the awesome, amazing Dan
Let's go,
Ebert.
Dan.
Woo, 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 woo. Let's
Go.
go. Let's
You.
go.
How's everybody doing today? You're up. It's early. It's not that early on the East Coast, but if you're on the West Coast, it's 7 a.m. You're ready to go. Isn't Shay awesome? She's got all this great energy about her, and she's crushing it. I'm like, I called April yesterday, and I'm like, April, who on your team is crushing it? And she gave me a couple names. I go, who's got the most energy? She goes, Shay. And so I want to get Shay on this call, and that's what it's all about. Isn't it fun coming over here and being excited again? I had two different appointments yesterday with a couple different people from different companies. One owned his own little agency with about 30 people, and the other the other the other guy he was $100,000 plus earner at a different company. And I said, you know why people need to come to Vantage? Because you're going to start having fun again. When's the last time you were having fun doing what you're doing, right, Jackie? Aren't you having fun? You guys got to understand, we're building a 2.0 startup. We already have the infrastructure and the base settled, right? With the guy that I think is the go to the industry, Jeff Levitan. His last year at our previous company did 62,000 recruits, just his team, 62,000 recruits and 300 million points. And that's who we got leading the charge with John Benham and Jeff Lahoviak. With those three guys, we have 100+ years of experience. And you got people like Albert Esparza and Armand and Trey that have 20+ years each. It's inevitable. But right now, what you're doing right now will have a ripple effect to the rest of your career. So as we're heading into the new year, I think it's fair that you start planning what's gonna be happening. I went over some stuff last week, but I'm gonna go through the basic fundamentals of creating a business plan, because if you don't have a business plan up, done, in force, handed over to your mentor, your leader by December 31st, you're not really taking this thing serious. If you're not thinking about your business plan, right? If you're not thinking about it, you're in trouble. So I'm going to go through some basic fundamentals, what you got to have a great business plan. And by next week, I should have mine done. So you'll be able to see it, or at least the majority of it. But I plan early while I'm running my business, while I'm running appointments, while I'm sitting down with, big fish from other companies and things like that. I'm still planning my future. How much can you handle? You will only get paid at the end of the day to how much you can handle, right? And you're never going to out earn your own personal identity. I had a call and I had a chit chat with somebody on my team the other day, and she knows who she is. I'm not going to say her name out loud, but in my opinion, she's $1 million earner. She could be $1 million earner, but she treats her job with more value than she treats her business. So I said, imagine you're married to somebody and you got this other person on the side and you treat that person better than your spouse, right? Because this is the deal, right? A lot of people they're treating somebody else's dream better than they're treating their own dream. And what happens when you do that? Your dreams start moving further away from you and you get stuck at the place that just keeps you on life support. Does that make sense, you guys? So start treating this like this is your main thing, like this is your baby, like this is your spouse, right? That's Andrea, right? That's the deal, right? Stop treating this business like your side chick, fellas, right? This is here you go. Here you go. This is it for you. So look at Jose, he's laughing, but I'm going to go over the basic fundamentals. Not going to have too many questions today, but I'm going to show you what has worked for me in the past and how to do this thing. Is that cool? And I'll show you how I take down information and things like that. So give me 1 second here. I'm going to bring this bad boy up and we're going to get into it. And then we got somebody that's really great after this. Mr. Armand McCarroll is going to give me training on closing in a minute, which is everybody needs a little help on closing, don't they? Right? ABC, always be closing. So here we go. The basic structure of a business plan. This is just how I do it. People do it different ways, but there's a few different components to this. How I always start out my business plan is I start with my whys. And I'll read my whys to you before before I hand it off to Armand. But I always put my top 10 whys, why I'm doing this, in a description of why they're my whys, because it all starts with your why. If you have a strong why, the how is easy, right? A lot of people start with how, right? It's like starting a bonfire without any wood. The why is the wood, right? The how is the spark. So if you have the spark, but you don't have the wood, you're never going to have that raging fire. Does that make sense? And that's your business. Next, you go through affirmations. Affirmations should be present tense, right? Like Shay, I am $1 million earner. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm making $1 million passive income right now, right? I'm so happy and grateful that I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm so happy and grateful that I have 50 ring earners on my team, right? I am the one in my family, right? That's changing everything. So if you do it in other language, it's more of a wish, right? I will is not how you do it. I am is how you do it. So just affirmations. Think about how many negative things we tell each other every day, right, Jackie? If you talk to other people, I've always said this to my team, Albert, if you talk to other people the same way you talk to yourself every day, would you have any friends in your life? Did that one hit anybody? If you talk to others the same way you talk to yourself every single day, would you have any friends left in your life? So you got to be your own biggest fan, folks. If you don't become your own biggest fan and your own biggest supporter, if you become your own biggest enemy and your own biggest critic, you're dead in the water. So you got to start treating yourself good, right? And talking good to yourself. And then there you go. So your affirmations are in there, right? Then your goals, right? Your goals, your yearly goal. What's it going to be? What's 2026 going to look like? If at the end of 2026 your numbers are the exact same as they were in 2025, how would you feel about that, Rich Lamb? Right? Right? They should be increasing. You know what's the easiest way to get depressed in life? Not progressing, not growing. You ever notice the happiest you are, Jackie, in your life is when you're growing? Like when you're working out and you see results, when you're putting in the work in business and you're growing, even if you grow like 10% the next year, you're making progress. But if you do a couple 100,000 points in 2025, 200,000 points, and you finish 2026 at 198, you don't feel too good about yourself, right? Progress is the key to happiness in life. Look at the most there. I know people that make millions of dollars a year. I knew my former upline, my former company, he was at $2 million in his high water mark. Now he's at like 1.6. He's probably not feeling good about that. Even though he's making 1.6 million, he went down from 2, he's at 1.6. He's not making progress. His team's not growing, right? So as long as you're making progress, that's it. So you want to make sure your goals are set out that you're making progress. So goals, your yearly goal, right? Then you do it biannually, right? Then you do it quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily. Where am I at right now? You have to self-evaluate yourself, figure out where you're at right now and where we're going. Just to disclaimer, you guys want to know what my goals are for the year as far as our team goes? 2,500 recruits, 10 million points. I'm putting it out there right now, and you got to let it be known public, your goals. You ever set those goals and you don't tell anybody? Well, I'm just going to show them. You ever see those people? I'm just going to show them. Nope. So, hey, give me a shout out. Anybody on here, like, does anybody know what their goals are for next year as far as team recruits, team points? Have you thought about this? Anybody know? Go ahead and blurt it out what your team goals are for next year so we can put you on the spot so everybody can say, remember Shay, she told me those were her goals for next year. She put it out there. Anybody got them? I digress, right? So put them in the chat what your goals are at least, right? So your goals, yearly, quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily. Where am I at right now? And then the plan. Plan your work and work your plan at the end of the day. So you can literally reverse engineer this business and go from there. So if I want to do 2,500 recruits next year on the team, 2,500 divided by 365, it means we have to do about 7 recruits a day on our team. Does that seem like a lot when you think about it? It's only 7 a day. 7 recruits a day, right? So if you got 7 people on your team, that's 1 recruit a day. If you got 700 people on your team, do the math, right? So you got to figure out, it breaks down all the way to how many phone calls do you need to make? How many prospects do you need to get to make how many phone calls, to set how many appointments, and how many appointments does it take for you to recruit 1 person? You can break it down to just that, prospecting. But then you have to put in the work, right? And then there's a vision board. Anybody got a vision board and their business plan, like what your cash flow you want to be, right? What kind of cars you want to drive, what kind of house you want to live in. So when you're getting down and somebody quits on you or somebody cancels up on you or whatever it is, you can just revert back to that vision board. You could see, you could have a picture of you and your family on a nice vacation, whatever it might be, but that vision board will bring you back to center. So what are the components? Your whys, your affirmations, your goals, your plan, and then your vision board. Those 5 things. And you could break it down into different categories. It could be faith, right? You could have goals for your faith. Maybe some of you are just starting to go back to church and you're like, I want to get baptized in 2026. Or you're like, I want to make sure I go to church every single week. Or I want to tithe 10% to my church. Or whatever it is, whatever your faith goals are. Your family, right? We have 2 little girls. I got a 3-year-old and a 10-week-old. One of my goals is for my wife to be pregnant again with our third, right? Our third child. We want to grow our family. We want to go on a family trip to Hawaii, right? We want to go to California for a week to see my wife's family there. I want to go to Chicago for a week to see my family there, right? We want to go to I'm a Cubs fan, Albert. We've already purchased our tickets for our family, our annual family Cubs game as a family. We already got 15 seats on August 5th against the Dodgers at Wrigley Field, right? Those are some of the family goals. Personal development goals. I want to read this many books. I want to do 1 or 2 more seminars outside of Vantage, the sales seminar, or this Tony Robbins or whatever. I want to attend this, right? I already know the books I'm going to read next year. I already have a list of books. I know which 2 I'm going to read in January, which 2 I'm going to read. I'm not going to say I'm going to read 1 book a week, right? You ever speak? Right? All these people, what's your goals for next year? I used to see these people that were stuck in business. Oh, I'm going to read 52 books next year. Great. Well, what are you going to do after you read the books? Right? 2 a month, 2 books a month. But I know January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Each of those books in order. Plan your work your plan. Fitness. Anybody on here have fitness goals for 2026? Anybody got it? Right? So that's how many times I'm going to join a gym. I just joined this gym called Lifetime Fitness. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, right? Lifetime Fitness, it's like a country club, but it's a gym. They got everything there, right? So that's it. That's the first step. I joined Lifetime Fitness. I've already sat down, right? I've already sat down with the doctor to get all my blood work done, to figure out all my levels for everything, to get into good shape. I've done a heart test already, all this stuff, because I want to be the healthiest I've ever been. I got to get back to my playing weight, LJ. I started this mission this year at 200 and I was 240 at the beginning of 2025. I weighed in at 214 today. I want to get down to 205, ripped to shreds like I used to be, right? Because I got to last a long time with these young kids. Business, right? Business. Isn't this what we're here for? Business, right? I always say faith, family, business, but we're on a business call. So you got to figure out your business goals, right? What do you want 2026 to look like? I already said 2,500 recruits and 10 million points. But how many personal recruits am I going to have? How many personal points am I going to have? How many core recruits are we going to have? How many core points? Frontline recruits and points? Entire team and points? What's my cash flow going to be? What's my team's total cash flow going to be? How many MDs am I going to promote? How many SMDs am I going to promote? How many RMDs and NMDs are you going to be? If you're not qualified for the contract that you have, when are you going to hit that actual contract? Right? What's your goal? Right? Field vice chairman by the end of the first quarter, right? Senior field vice chairman by the end of the year. right? 105 contract. That's what we're looking for, right? So how many people are you going to have at at convention? How many people are you going to have at your wealth bowl? All these different things, right? Finance. Anybody have some financial goals this year? Maybe you're in debt. Maybe you got the IRS on your tail. Maybe you got credit card people calling you. Maybe you don't have enough money saved. Maybe you want to have, Mario, maybe you want to have 6 months worth of your income tucked away, just chilling there in a savings account so you got some breathing room. Maybe you want to buy a couple new cars. Maybe you want to purchase a house. Maybe you want to upgrade your house, right? Whatever those financial goals are, put them down, right? And figure out how this business can take care of that. One of my big goals this year, everybody, is to be able to fund my church by myself with just my tithes, right? Is it possible? Yeah. Anything's possible in this business. It's not possible at a job. So what you do is you dream it up here in your mind, you put it down on paper, you work towards it, and it becomes a reality. Anybody ever listened to a guy named Bob Proctor before? You guys know who Bob Proctor is? Actually, I had the pleasure of meeting Bob one time. An old friend of mine produced this movie called Think and Grow Rich, the movie. I got to meet Bob. I actually got to talk to him for about 10 minutes one-on-one. Extraordinary man. He's dead. He's gone. He's left this earth and gone with the Lord since then. But he talked to me about this thing called the goal card. Ever heard of a goal card? It could be an index card, right? A little 3x5 index card folded up. You put all your goals on that, your main goals. It might be making $1 million, Jackie. It might be 2,500 recruits and 10 million points. You put this goal, right? And you put it in your pocket and you carry it around with you on your person all day, every day. And you put it on your nightstand at night, right? And it's always there. And maybe you have a few different ones. One's in your car, one's in your pocket, one's in your nightstand, but it's constantly there. You know what I used to do when I used to hit my goals, when I used to go for goals, which I need to start doing again? I used to put a quarter in my shoe. I used to put a quarter in my shoe and I'd walk around with a quarter in my shoe because every time I took a step, I was focused on hitting that goal, right? I learned it from a guy named Rich Thawley, right? Rich used to do that. He used to put a quarter in his shoe. He's one of the biggest guys ever in the industry to remind him of his goals every single day, right? I would also suggest there's a book called Think and Grow Rich. Has anybody ever heard of this book, Think and Grow Rich, before? I just listened to it on audio again, but I'm going to reread it between now and the end of the year. I'm going to read it between now and the end of the year, right? That's a big difference maker, right? Your mentality. So I would suggest as you're reading your plan, Think and Grow Rich, when you figure your plan out, you got to read it 2 times a day, every day with emotion and feel it, right? Most won't do this, but the ones do will succeed. You have to remember that success is not convenient. Read Bob Proctor, listen to Bob Proctor. You must think and act like the person you're becoming before you're that person. If you want to make $1 million, Elizabeth, do you think like a millionaire? Do you think like a millionaire thinks? Do you act like a millionaire acts? Can I ask you a question for the people on this call? If you don't have your camera on this thing, are you thinking like a millionaire? If you can't throw your camera on this bad boy, are you really thinking like a millionaire and somebody's going to hit their goals? If you're not dressed sharp for appointments, if you're taking this thing casually, is that the deal? How you present yourself in appointments? Would somebody hand you their life savings based on your appearance and how you think, talk, walk, and act? Because that's what we're doing in a lot of cases. Where people are trusting us with their entire life's work. their entire life savings, right? Are they gonna trust somebody that can't get their camera on a meeting? Are they gonna trust somebody that can't dress sharp, right? That can't present themselves? That's the deal, guys. That's the difference maker, right? What will you do with the money that you make in 2026? You should do a financial needs analysis on yourself, imagining Jackie, I know you're going for $1 million, right? You should do an F&A on yourself as if you're making $1 million of income. Where is it going? Right? Right? Examine the holes in your business, to talk to your mentor and devise a plan to fix them. Right? Plan your books to read, build habits before the new year, laying the foundation. Don't wait till January 1. Start building that foundation right now. If your plan is to get in better shape, lose weight, start dieting right now, right? Have the discipline right now. Start working out right now. All these different things to build momentum going into the new year. Most people, 90% of people, Shay, break their New Year's resolution by January 15th. 90% of people break their New Year's resolution, give up on their goals by the 15th of January, right? Make changes as you go. Your plan's a living thing. It changes just like anything, but dream about the things you want and ask for them. You must claim your goals. Leaders Bulletin obsessed and dominate at your level. Okay. So I'm going to bring up, and I'm going to show you something that I've been doing lately, and then we're going to hand it off to Mr. McCarroll. You should be on pretty soon. Anybody see this calculator thingy? Can you see my calculator on the screen?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I'm on, Dan.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to just go over this really quick. But I'm going to show you this thing, right? Go dark mode, like it's easy on my eyes. So this is how I make assumptions for this. I go, okay, you do 3 IUL sales, you do 3 term sales as an MD, and you do $100,000 rollover, right? Those are your assumptions. That's about between 19 and 20,000 points a month, if you look at the math on that, right? Just doing 3. If you can build a little team that does 3 IUL sales, 3 term sales, and $100,000 rollover every month, you will hit MD. Isn't that crazy, Jackie? Isn't that very little? So a lot of people are doing it on their own pen. So you do 3 IULs, 3 terms, $100,000 annuity every month, you're an MD. That's what I use as my assumptions here. It's a stronger MD. It's around 20,000 points a month, right? So I'm looking at this. I'm assuming I do no sales. This is my residual income. So what are my plans for this year, right? So I've got, my plan is to have 2 qualified, actually 1 qualified field vice chairman. So we're working on bringing somebody over that's pretty big right now. This guy does about 10 million points a year. I'm not even assuming he's going to do 10 million points a year. But if you have this one person that comes over and they got 3 stud leaders, let's say they just do half that, 5 million points a year, right? That's 25 total MDs. If you do 5 million points a year divided by 200,000, that's a qualified MD, right? You could do the math. Now you got 21 left over. So let's say you do 11 and then 10. They got layers there. So I'm like, okay, cool. That's 14 grand a month just there. I'm a field vice chairman. They're a field vice chairman. And then you add a leg. And I got a couple of NMDs on my team. We're going to get 2 qualified NMDs on the team, right? That's about 13 MDs besides their little big shops. Now we're at 47 grand a month. Then we're going to go down to RMDs, regional marketing directors. Goal is to have 3 RMDs. Each RMD should have two MDs direct to them. So now we're at 77 a month, right? Then you add a leg there. Now you're at SMDs, right? Senior marketing director. Plan on having 5 SMDs. Each SMD should have 1 MD direct to them. for their promotion. Now we're at 122 a month. Then you add a leg. Then you got marketing directors. My goal is to have 15 direct MDs next year. So now we're at 210,000 a month with no personal production. But by then, watch this. If we do all that, we will then become what you call a SFVC. So instead of $210,000 a month, if we do the same exact thing the next year, it's 283 a month. That's 3.4 million a year. I'm able to pay for my entire church's expenses for an entire year. Guess how much I do this? Every day. Every day. Can you imagine waking up in the morning and go, hey, this is my vision. I'm going to have this person as a field vice chairman. I'm going to have 2 NMDs. I'm going to have 3 RMDs. And you do the math and you visualize it every single day. And then you start feeling, you're like, oh my God, at the end of the day, it's attainable. That's all we got to do, right? Rebecca Lim's going to hit senior associate or SMD. Liz Savage is going to qualify for MD. All these other people on our team, they're going to produce MDs and so on and so forth. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna digress here. I'm gonna shut up and get on my way. But I hope you guys got some vision. And next week I'm gonna kind of show you some of these things. I'll at least read my whys and some of my goals and things like that. But it's food for thought and something to think about, because if you don't plan your work and work your plan, it's game over for you. So stop treating this like your side hustle. Start treating it like your baby, your brand newborn child, and I promise you, you'll get there. So I'm going to introduce this next gentleman. Love this guy. He will always be Mr. McCarroll to me. And right? Hey, you're a young man, Armand, and I don't call you that because you're my elder. I call you Mr. McCarroll because I have respect for you, right? I have a ton of respect for you. And every time I introduce Armand, the biggest compliment I could ever give Armand is the way I've seen his boys. He's got 2 twin boys, right? And if you saw how sharp these 2 studs are, you just knew that they had great parents raising them and taught them the right way, the right things, the right values. It's the biggest compliment you could ever get as a parent. But he's a great man. He's a man of faith. He's a great husband. He's a super stud in this business. I think he's the number one personal producer in the company this year, right? Number 2, right? He's close, but he knows how to get it done. So he's going to talk about closing for a little bit. And then he's going to introduce Shay again to go over recognition, and then we'll take it from there. So Mr. McCarroll, the floor is yours, my friend. Thank you so much for being on our call and adding value to the entire company today.
All right. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate it. Can everybody hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Hey, Diane, how are you? Hey, Dan, I don't know if you know that you got your hand up. So I don't know if you want to, did you have a question? Oh, okay. All right. All right, guys. Well, let's get started. Man, I am so super excited. I always love listening to Dan Ebert talk about goals, because let me tell you something. Dan stretches my vision. When he said, I want 15 direct MDs this year, I'm going to go back to my goals and change them. So I appreciate you, Dan, so much, so much. So listen, guys, we're going to get into a little bit of closing. And man, you know what? I went over this presentation a couple times last night, and I really want to get something, a point across to you guys. And that is, closing is not what you think it is. Let me turn on my timer because I want to be respectful of time, because I know we got Shay is going to be doing recognition. And so I got my timer on. Let's go. So, many of you guys think that, can everybody see my screen? Crystal, can you see my screen? Cool. Many of you guys think that you talk, and then at the end, you close. Guys, that is not the way it's done. That is not the way it's done. So what is a closing? And let me just say this, guys. I'm going to go through this in 15 minutes. One of these days, Dan and I and the company, we're going to get together and we're going to do a whole session on closing, because this is literally a 3-hour presentation. And I'm going to do it I'm going to do a mini version of it just for 15 minutes. But if you do have questions, go in the chat or interrupt me, because I want to make sure I bring value every time that we talk. So what is closing? Closing is the point in the sales presentation in which you gain the desired action or agreement from the client. Closing can happen anytime. Closing is a courtesy to customers, not an imposition. Closing helps customers make a decision. Guys, listen, you got to read these 2 books. You got to get Nick Murray's book, The Game of Numbers, Professional Prospecting for Financial Advisors, right? It's a great book. You won't find it on Amazon. You got to go to his website, nickmurray.com, and get it. And the next book I want you to get is Closing is Not Your Problem. How Can You Close a Door That Was Never Opened? By Nick and Lisa Terenzi. These are 2 great books I think that you need in your library in this industry. And one of the things that in closing is not a problem, one of the things that they talk about is, do you have some sort of relationship with the person that you're talking to, right? And I'm going to get into that in a little bit. My biggest question, my biggest concern when I'm training my associates on this is, are you being sincere? Are you being sincere? I think you should always be curious. Always be asking questions. Why? What happens if? Right? Always be asking questions. And let me just tell you this. Let me give all of you guys permission, not that I need to give it to you, but let me give all of you permission that as financial professionals, you can be nosy. Elizabeth, you can be nosy. You can, Robert, you can ask people, can you afford that? I do it all the time, because people know the profession that I'm in. And so you can be nosy, but we call it curious. Are you educating your client? Now, I say this because, are you thinking about the sale, or are you educating your client, right? Do you really care about your client, or are you just trying to get a sale? Are you asking questions and then shutting up and listening? Many of you guys, I'm not calling out any names, but many of you guys talk too much. You really do. You got your license, you got your little experience. Well, you say, Al, that's you. Many of you guys just need to ask questions and then shut up and listen, right? I love Al. Al said this, I'm just going to be, I'm going to be sincere this morning, right? I love it, Al. When you are educating your client, ask little tie-down questions throughout. Guys, even when I'm talking to you guys, you'll hear me say stuff like, Sandra, does that make sense? Rebecca, where do you think we go from here? Right? So those are little tie downs that you want to incorporate into your closing. I would highly recommend you guys go watch a movie called Glengarry Glen Ross. Glengarry Glen Ross with a young Alec Baldwin. And can anybody tell me, what does ABC stand for? Unmute yourself. What does ABC stand for?
Always be closing.
There you go. Always be closed. All right, Shantae, let's go. Let's go. All right. And again, I would show you part of that movie, but again, we're doing this in 15 minutes. So what is closing? Closing is the process of guiding someone to make a decision that's in the best interest for them and their family. Let me just tell you this, guys. If you keep that on the forefront of your mind, you'll be fine. Closing is the process of guiding, not forcing, not tying their hands behind their back, but guiding them to make a decision that's in the best interest of them and their family. Next. And I'm trying to, okay. All right, let's go. Next. Closing is helping. Never feel bad for closing someone if you know it's for their own best interest. Listen, I learned years ago that it's okay to inconvenience people, Jason, if it's for their own good. You know, why do I want people, Lisa, why do I want people to go on our Wealth Bowl? Why do I want people to go to Punta Cana? And here's the thing. As leaders, we know how much our teams are making. We know you guys' income. And so why would I ask somebody who hasn't made a whole lot of money to still go on a trip? I know that's a big inconvenience, but I also know the other side of that it can bring value to them and it can help them. And so don't ever feel bad for closing someone if you know it's helping them. Every time you meet with someone, I want you guys to take note of this, because some of you guys do not value your time. You don't value your time. But every time you meet with someone, make sure you close on at least one of these three things, Kim. The first thing, either you're going to close on a business partner or a client, or number three, you're going to close on a referral. Every time you sit down and talk with someone, you should be trying to close on these three things: a business partner, a client, and a referral. And if you're really hitting home runs, you try to close on all three. Does that make sense to everybody? See, I did it again. I can't help myself. All right. Closing starts the minute you sit down with the client or a new potential business partner. Let me ask you this, guys. How many of you are pretty decent at small talk? How many of you know what small talk is? Right? Go ahead, Jovial. Oh, Jovial say, I know what small talk is. Listen, small talk is where you build the relationships. Man, hey, Milton, how you doing, man? Listen, man, it's been a long time since we talked, man. How's the family? Man, things good, blah, 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 catch up, right? Many of you want to just go in and start business. And I'm not saying that that's not wrong, because we're busy, but build a relationship with your client or your potential business partner or your potential client or business partner, right? Closing starts the moment you sit down with them. Now, I'm going to go through some questions, guys, really quickly. Listen, if you guys want, I can get this presentation to your leaders, but here's what I want to do. I'm going to go through really quickly about 15 closing questions. I don't want you to memorize all of them. I don't. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to get one or two today that you can go out and use right away. So, you're gonna hear some questions. You're gonna be like, Shantae gonna be like, oh my God, that was great. I want that one. Write that one down and go use it today, right? Shay is gonna hear one and she's gonna be like, oh man, that was good. Yeah, I'm gonna use that one. So let's go. Let's hit it. Number one, would you rather have your money taxed now, later, or never? Ooh, let me just tell you, all of them are good, guys. I don't want you to know. I don't want you to memorize all of them. Because, Sammy, if you know all of them, then your head going to explode. So, so we're just going to give you one or two. All right. Would you rather have your money taxed now, later, or never? Number two, what's the most important thing to you in your life? Your family, right? Well, doesn't it make sense to have protection on the most important people in your life? Oh, pull at the heartstrings. Let's go. Number three, what is your biggest financial concern? What are the things that keep you up late at night thinking about money? That's my favorite right there, right? Number four, what do you want your life insurance to accomplish for you? Guys, let me just tell you this. If you're not asking that question in the F&A, Chica, I don't know what they're asking. They need to be asking that question. What do you want your life insurance to accomplish for you. Number 5, would you rather temporarily protect your family or permanently protect your family? All right. Number 6, if I were to consider bringing you on board, I love this question. If I were to consider bringing you on board this company, where do you see yourself starting out? Referral, part-time, or full-time? Oh. Number 7, do you feel comfortable giving advice to people that you don't personally know? Number 8, if I can improve your family's financial situation, would you allow me? Number 9, what's more important to you? Helping your boss build his wealth or helping your family build their wealth? Oh, Borby, I know you like that one. I know you like that one. All right, next. On a scale of 1 to 10, Mike, how motivated are you about changing your financial situation for the better? Let's go. On a scale of 1 to 10, Mike Davis, how motivated are you about changing your financial situation for the better? I know Mike would say 10, Armand, 10. Number 11.
I'll say 12.
12. There you go. There you go. I love this one. Let me ask you a question. Sidonia, when was the last time you sat down with a licensed financial professional? Never, Armand. Number 12. Oh, man, listen. You guys that love to prospect, Lunice, write this one down, girl. If the money, and I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. My leader, my business partner, Mr. Trey Turner, uses this all the time, right? If the money were right and it could fit into your schedule, would you consider a part-time business? Woo, I love it. Number 13, are you familiar with the IUL tax-free pension plan? Ooh. Number 14, would you rather increase your savings commitment or reduce your goals in retirement? Ooh, think about that. I just used that one, right? Number 15, now that you know how a 401k plan and an IUL plan works, which would you think is better for your family and your money? Number 16, we're almost done, guys. I got 8 minutes. You're doing okay on your own, so how much better do you think you could do with a financial coach? Man, Mike Perkins, I can see you using that one. Number 17, okay, all we need to do now is fill out the paperwork real quick. Sound good? What's your middle initial? What's your social? Oh, see, I lost you guys on that one. I lost you. So listen, you've already talked about how great the IUL is. The client has already told you, I can afford $350 a month. Your next question would be, hey, listen, do you have a middle initial? What's your address? What's your social security number? And start completing the application. Let's go. Now, I'm almost done. Would you rather pay 2 to 3% in cost of insurance to protect your retirement and family, or would you rather pay 35 to 40% in taxes? And then 19, if I can show you a way where you can turn your annual income into your monthly income, is that something you would want to do? Man, I love that one. And then lastly, thank you for responding to my social media. How can I be of service to you? A lot of you guys are on social media a lot, and people are hitting you up, whatever. Just ask the question, how can I be of service to you? Now, I'm gonna switch focus. I'm not gonna go through any more closing questions. I want to get into a little bit of prospecting for the 4 minutes that I have, right? Because listen, you're gonna talk to people in one of two ways. Either you're gonna prospect as you go, Michelle, or you're going to go out to prospect. Now, I'm in a lot of different places, and so I typically prospect as I go. So let me give you some rules of thumb, and then I'm going to turn it back over to Shay. Anybody you give your money to, you should get their name and number. Let me just tell you guys, I struggle with that because I've been going to the same two Korean cleaners to get my shirts done for years. And I had never talked to them about what I do. And I remember the first time I heard this, I went back when I had to go pick up my clothes, and Dwayne, I asked the lady, I said, so, how's things going? And, just had a conversation with her. And here's what she told me. She goes, I hate the cleaning business. I'm only doing it because this is my parents' business. They're sick, and I'm trying to help them out. And I says, well, are you open to some other things? She goes, Armand, I would be, but I really I'm taking care of my family and running this business. And I'm like, okay. Because if she had said, no, I'm not interested, I don't want to talk to you, guess what I would have done? She wouldn't have been my cleaners person anymore, right? So number 2, think about what you want and Dan just talked about this. Think about what you want your business to look like. So if you see someone like that, go talk to them. If I say, oh man, I would love to have a middle-aged white guy on my team, and then I meet Dwayne Griever. I'm just joking. But because we all want multicultural teams, correct? Right? Shantae, we want some of everybody on our team. So think about what you want your business to look like and go out and find that person. If you do business with them, they should be doing business with you. Go out to prospect or prospect as you go. Remember the 3-foot rule. If someone talks to you first, get their name and number. Ask everybody if they have a business card when you're done talking to them. Your main goal is to get their name and number. Okay? All right, guys, listen, I could go on and on, but I want to leave Shay some time for recognition. Guys, listen, I hope that brought a little bit of value to you. Again, this is a 3-hour training, and I just tried to do it in 16 minutes. So I apologize that if I went over, but let me listen. You guys have already heard from Shay, but man, look, she sent me. I got to read these, guys. She sent me some of her goals. Oh my God, she's only been at Vantage for 3 months. Right. And I didn't have the heart to tell her hey, Mike, she's in Memphis, Tennessee. I didn't have the heart to tell her we already taken over Memphis. So I don't know if there's room for Shay in Memphis, but we're going to figure it out. Let's go. But she's a resident. She lives in Kansas City, right? She currently has 2 marketing directors on her team. And her goal, I like this goal, Shay, because this is but look, like I said, after listening to Dan's goals, we may have to change this. Her goal is the same as mine, to promote 10 MDs, and she wants to have 10 ring earners on her team by the end of this year. And her 2026 goal is $1 million income. And let me just tell you, Shay and I have never met, but just by her picture, she looks like already she earns $1 million. So without further ado, Miss Shay Bond, take it away.
Come through. Y'all, look, I was able to share a call with 2 co-founders, y'all. This the co-owners, y'all. This is a big dang deal, y'all. So y'all, let's give it up, y'all. This the December 2025 recognition, y'all. 2026 don't start in 2026. It starts right now. So y'all, personal points: Danielle, y'all. Number 10, Danielle. 9, Marvella. 8, April Taylor, y'all. 7 is Barrett. 6, Armand. 5, Michael. 4, Albert Esperanza. Y'all, 3 is Mariana. 2 is Mike Wilson, y'all. And the number 1 person, y'all, David Henning, y'all, with 26,914 points. Big dang deal, y'all. Personal
awesome.
We got we got like a tie right at number 10, right? Marvala, we got Derek, Borby, Patricia, Eric. Number 5, y'all. It then went down to 5. Rachel, Arzion, y'all. Maritza, Martin, y'all. Who's next? Number 1, y'all. We got Daniel Booger, y'all.
Right,
4 personal recruits, y'all. Right. 14 points. Y'all, let's give it up. Y'all, we got to give people their flowers, y'all. Number 10 is Marcella Forrest. 9 is Danielle. 8, Courtney. 7, Barrett. 6, Michael. 5 is Albert. 4 is Mike. 3 is David. Number 2 is Armand. Come on, Armand. Y'all, number 1 is Mariana.
I'm coming after you, Mariana. I'm coming.
20 dang on points, y'all. core team recruits, y'all. Number 10 is Borby, Maritza, Patricia, Eric, Martin. Number 5 is Marvella, Andre, Brenda. Number 2 is David. Y'all, David was like, I got to get away from them. Number 1, y'all. Core team points is Daniel.
That's
Y'all.
real.
Number 6,
All
y'all.
right, Daniel.
Awesome.
Frontline points, y'all. 10 is Trey. 9, Mike. 8 is LJ Bart. Y'all, 7 is it Emily? 6 is David. 5 is April Taylor. 4 is
All right,
Armand.
April.
3 is Andre. 2
All
is
right,
Mariana,
Andre.
y'all. And the number 1 person, y'all. Give it up, give it up, give it up for Albert.
Albert
Wow.
Esraza, y'all. 66,000 points, y'all.
Woo.
Frontline recruits.
Right,
LJ Bart, Jay Scott, Albert, David, y'all. Those are number 10. Jump to 6. Daniel and Martin. Number 4, April Taylor. 3
All right,
is
April.
Derek and
All right,
Eric.
April.
Y'all, so I'm guessing it's zooming to number 1, y'all. With frontline recruits is Andre Genovese, y'all, with 11 frontline recruits, y'all. Entire team points. 10 is Armand. 9 is Trey Turner. 8 is Mike Wilson. 7 is Mariana. 6 is Dan. 5 April. 4 Albert. 3
right, Dan.
LJ Bart. 2 is Andre. And number 1, y'all, with entire team points is Andrea. Y'all, we got Sarola, y'all. We gotta get this.
Awesome.
All right,
Awesome.
Andrea.
Come on. Let's shout these people out. Let's keep it going. Entire team recruits. 10, Martin. 9 is Derek, Eric, Powell. 6 is Dan. 5 is
All
April.
right, Dan.
4 is Albert. 3, LJ Bart. Number 2 is Andrea. The number 1 person, y'all, is only one. Number 1 is
Andrea
Andre
Genovese.
Genovese with
All right,
24,
Andre.
y'all.
Go.
Let's do it, y'all. And qualified MDs, y'all. Ginger Chang Wright. Let's give it up for Ginger, y'all. That's a big dang deal. And qualified MD is Maribel Cardona, y'all. That's a big dang deal.
Awesome.
We got a bunch of qualified MDs.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Anna Paula, y'all, this is a big dang deal. Anna Paula is at Aquia. Come on, let's go. Qualified SMD.
All right, Barrett.
Barrett Cummins.
Awesome.
Not playing with y'all today. Qualified SMD.
Mike Wilson.
Mike Wilson is not playing with y'all today. Okay, y'all. Qualified SMD.
Come on.
Jackie. All right,
All right,
Jackie.
Jackie.
Jackie. Yes.
Qualified RMD.
All right,
Albert
Albert.
Esparza, y'all. That's a big dang deal. And new 100K earner, y'all. Quantal, y'all. This is a big dang deal. New 100K earner. Mariana Martinelli. Big dang deal, y'all. Let's go. And y'all, I know y'all. Look, we got the Conquest of Paradise, y'all, coming up July 1st to the 30th was a contest July 1st to December 31st. And y'all, it's not too late. You could get this thing rocking and rolling, y'all. Here's our chance to get with some of the biggest people in the business, y'all. We got to make sure we're there in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, y'all. Super excited about this opportunity. Man, how many of y'all, look, I'm going in the chat because we got to make sure we're there and get these reimbursements, y'all. You get a free all expense, y'all. This is all expense paid vacation dang near, right? You just got to work to get the points. We get work to win, y'all. I'm super excited. Y'all, was this an amazing training or what, y'all?
Yes.
Come on.
It was incredible.
So, y'all, remember.
Yeah.
If nothing else, y'all, the goals, ABC, always be closing. And y'all, look, let me tell y'all, Dan said faith, family, fitness, finance, and we're going to do it all with fun. And so I love y'all. This is amazing training. See y'all next week. Let's go turn it up for the rest of the month.
All right. Great job, everybody.
Let's go. Thank you, Shay.
Let's go.
Bless everybody.
Good night.